Hello everyone, welcome to the system programming video lecture series, and today we are going to cover about Unix history and birth of the Linux operating system. We will also cover about Unix and Linux distributions in this session. Let's start with the history of the Unix operating system. The Unix operating system was born in Bell Labs in 1969. So that is around 50 years from now on. If we will see, the first computer was invented in 1957. So this Unix operating system, that is high-end operating system with very complex features, it was built around 12 years after the invention of the first computing machine. Since that time, since last 50 years, this Unix operating system and its distributions are most widely used operating system, so on, and there are so many variations and upgradations are done, but still it is one of the most widely used operating systems so far. This Unix operating system was written in assembly language at the start, but later on in 1973 it was rewritten in C language, and at that time this Unix operating system was not available as a free software or free operating system. It was a commercial operating system which was mainly used by the universities and big organizations. So let's see some Unix distributions. The most well-known operating system right now we are using are Windows, Mac OS, or Linux operating systems. So if we will see, actually Mac OS and Linux operating systems are originated from the Unix operating system, but Windows operating system was originated based on the MS-DOS. Let's talk about the birth of the Linux operating system. As I discussed earlier, that Unix operating system was a commercial operating system and it was not available freely for everyone, and it used to cost around $20,000. So Richard Stallman founded a GNU project to build free and open source Unix-like operating system in 1990s, and he got almost succeeded in 1991, but at that time kernel was missing. In the same time, Linus write an open source kernel at the age of 21, and in 1991 that kernel was incorporated with the Linux, and by this way the era of Linux operating system started, and this Linux operating system was distributed as freely open source, can be usable by everyone, and even anyone can modify it. Linux is not exactly compatible with the earlier versions of Unix because Linux was rebuilt by keeping the idea of Unix operating system, and they build Linux operating system with almost same features, but because it is a separate operating system, so the initial versions of the Unix operating systems were not compatible with it. Let's now talk about the Linux distributions, and right now we have very large number of operating systems and their distributions are available which are based on the Linux operating system. And as I discussed, Linux operating system is freeware and shareware. So this is the reason like anyone can modify, and they can give a new name by adding some new features, and they can even launch as a commercial operating system. So we have some examples like Red Hat, Debian, Linux, Sun Solaris. We have Raspbian operating system which is being used for the Raspberry Pi and so on. So some of those softwares are commercial and we need to pay for the in order to get the license, but most of the distribution which are based on the Linux are still free. That's it for today's video. If you like my video, please click on the like button and subscribe my channel. If you want to receive notifications of the upcoming videos, click on the bell icon. That's it. Thank you.